Today, a joint ethics committee heard testimony and advice on creating new ethics reform for the state. Lawmakers Keocia Jackson joins us from the Capitol with more. Keocia.
Thank you, Susan. As you just mentioned, with the recent resignation of House Speaker Glenn Richardson, the pressure is on for lawmakers to come through with legislation that will tighten up ethics and crack down on incidents of scandal. The Joint Ethics Committee meeting began today with Bob Irvin, chairman of Common Cause of Georgia, citing what his organization would like to see happen this session.
There's been a scandal here that focuses people's attention on these kinds of issues, and it creates the opportunity to pass bills that, sure enough, many of you may believe, I certainly believed both when I was here and since I've been here, pass bills that should have been passed long ago. But it creates the opportunity to do it now. It gives you the chance to do things this year that have needed doing for a long time. I want to highlight 4 things that, from Common Cause's perspective, we'd like to see you do in the area of ethics legislation this year. And the first is a reform in the campaign finance and in the lobbyist gift and disclosure arenas. The second thing is an independent ethics panel. The third is a code of ethics. And the fourth is pay-for-play legislation.
Now, Irvin also advocates for several bills. One of key importance to Common Cause of Georgia is House Bill 920, which seeks to limit how much money lobbyists spend on or contribute to legislators. Ethics attorneys who also spoke at the meeting, however, say that increasing restrictions on campaign contributions won't necessarily help.
Common Cause typically believes that campaign contributions promote corruption or promote the appearance of corruption, and so they favor prohibitions. They also favor disclosure, but they would actually impose limits, significant limits, on the amount of money that may be contributed to campaigns or may be spent by individuals, corporations, labor unions, special interest groups in connection with campaigns.
You know, money in politics is sort of like the leak in your attic. It's going to find a path down to your house if the water's there. And in the experience that we've had, if you limit campaign contributions, the money goes to independent expenditures. If you limit lobbyist gifts, then perhaps lobbyists who had not been in the business of making large campaign contributions, but rather in the business of buying lots of dinners, might shift that money into campaign contributions. There's nothing wrong with any of that. What this body has to decide is what is appropriate and what isn't, and simply legislate to that.
Now, there are several pieces of legislation being presented this session that seek to strengthen ethics in the state. Of course, we will bring you more on those measures as they make their way through the legislative process. Reporting live, I'm Keocia Jackson for Lawmakers.
Thanks, Keocia.